Hello challengers, and welcome to week 3. I was gonna make this newsletter in print, and then I thought, you know what, it's probably better that I tell you this face to face. Today for our newsletter, we're going to be talking about ways to mitigate stress eating, and I'm telling you guys, this has changed the way that I think about stress eating and emotional eating. Once I tell you these strategies, you will never ever think about it the same. Once you know the truth, you can't unlearn the truth. So I'm gonna give you 3 strategies for stopping emotional and stress eating today. Okay, number 1, this strategy is a little more time consuming, but it works really well. The first thing is to just notice and note what you're feeling when you're eating. Whether you're eating for stress or you're eating just a regular meal, sometimes we feel relief, sometimes we feel stress, sometimes we feel anxiety, sometimes we feel happy, joy, sometimes we feel anger, sometimes we feel loneliness. And what you're doing when you're journaling is you're telling your brain, this is what I'm feeling and this is not what I want this to do. So you're telling your brain, I'm not supposed to be using food as an emotional support. So when you write it down, now you know you can't unlearn that. You can't unlearn the truth, which is I'm eating for a reason other than hunger. And that's not always a bad thing. So let me just back up and say, like, Christmas, holidays, sometimes we just eat and there's nothing wrong with that. What is the problem is that when it becomes something that's long-term and this is how we're coping with life. So that's strategy number 1, to note and notice how you're feeling when you're eating. Just make a quick note. It can be in your phone, it can be on a postcard, whatever, or a Post-it, whatever you need, okay? That's strategy number 1. Strategy number 2, I learned this in therapy probably. I'm trying to remember who told me this. Those emotions that you're feeling, and typically they're negative emotions, they actually only last for about 30 seconds. So if you tell yourself, okay, you start to notice yourself going, I need something to eat, breathe for 30 seconds. If you're eating because of an emotional reason, you will actually lower that desire to want food, to soothe yourself as your heroine, as my girl says. So breathe, because those emotions are temporary. They don't last forever. Deep cleansing breaths for 30 seconds. And at the very least, you put off that emotional eating for 30 seconds. And it gives you time to process what's happening. So that's strategy number 2, is to breathe for 30 seconds. Strategy number 3, and this is my favorite strategy, and actually this has worked for me. This is the most effective for me. And this is where I get super honest with myself. And I say, Joe, are you going to feel better long term after you eat that entire bag of organic Starbursts? Long term, are you going to feel better? Or is this a temporary fix? Long term, what's the better solution to what you're feeling right now? And sometimes I give in, and most of the time though, because I now know the truth, right? I'm teaching my brain to ask itself these questions. I'm like, I should probably call a friend. I should probably cry. I should probably journal this out. I should probably go for a walk instead and process what I'm feeling. Okay, you guys, if this helped you, please share this video with people. These strategies have really changed my eating habits, and I think they're beneficial long-term for everyone. This is the second part of the newsletter. In this part, I want to talk about eating out. How do I track while I'm eating out? There's a couple of ways. I want you to remember this mantra. Close enough is good enough. Okay, so I know some of us are really type A's and we love, and those numbers line up perfectly and everything's perfect. Fitness is not that way. Fitness and health is not that way, okay? So let's say I'm going to a restaurant, a mom and pop shop that has no macronutrients on their website. All I do is I go into MyFitnessPal or Chronometer and I say, okay, I'm just gonna pull out the ingredients that I know are in the item, and I just estimate. So if I'm going to a mom and pop shop and I'm having a Philly cheesesteak, I find a hoagie roll in my Fitness Pal. I find pastrami, what kind of meat is that? Sliced beef. I find provolone cheese, and I overestimate. And I just estimate because close enough is good enough. Okay? If you can't do that and the restaurant just has calories, then just pull those calories from your day. Don't worry about it. Okay? Because this is about long-term health. Long-term, you're not going to be perfect every single time, right? Close enough is good enough. Okay? If this was helpful, let someone know. Have a great day. Bye.